Hello everyone and welcome to my review for Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 138. As per usual, I of course have to plug my subscriber goal for 2021, hitting 5,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and the extra special goal, hitting 5,000 by April 21st, the 1-year anniversary of the channel. And I also have a second thing to plug. I normally mention this at the end of my videos, but I don't know how many of you stick around for that, but I have a Discord server. You can check out the About page on my channel and join that if you want. We've gotten a lot more activity lately as more people are joining, and we've started doing more stuff with the people on the server. So if you're interested in that, you should definitely check it out. So with that out of the way, let's get on with the review. So the primary focus of this chapter, and most of the information that we get, is about the Zenin family, which is, it makes sense. The title of the chapter is literally the Zenin clan. It's weird after so long getting chapter titles that aren't the Shibuya incident part something. But we get introduced to three seemingly very important characters within the Zenin clan: Naoya Zenin, Ogi Zenin, and Junichi Zenin. Now, the name Ogi may be a little familiar. It was mentioned like once in the past, as someone who Maki and Mai are at the very least descended from. There seems to be a lot of confusion as to what exactly their relation to Ogi is. So some translations make it seem like Ogi is their dad. Some of them make it seem like Ogi is mostly just the sort of branch of the Zenin family that they're a member of. And another, I think, interview with Gege, in it they say that Ogi is actually their grandfather. So if that's the correct translation coming straight from Gege's mouth, I'm going to assume that that is the correct interpretation of their relation to each other. So this person is apparently Maki and Mai's grandfather, which kind of makes sense. He does have black hair. Well, in the manga it's black hair like they do, and he does have a ponytail kind of like Maki. So he looks a lot more like them than Naobito does, and I'm still not sure if Naobito is Maki and Mai's dad, because the guy's kind of old, but Naobito had a lot of... How do I put this? The guy had a lot of charisma, and he was very cool, so I imagine he could pull if he wanted to. So yeah, I think it's kind of implied here. His uncle, Ogi. So Ogi is maybe Naobito's brother, because Naoya is Naobito's kid. He's his son. He's his little brother, and apparently Naobito also has a daughter. So that may be Maki or Mai that he's referring to. It's not clear. And Junichi, it's really not clear what his relation is, but Naoya thinks he's ugly, and that he should probably have been dead or gotten the heavenly restriction instead of Toji, which is interesting, because Toji actually gets name-dropped a few times in this chapter. Even beyond the grade, the guy keeps doing important shit. So Naoya's interesting because... Well, actually, all these guys are interesting because they are Supreme Grade 1 sorcerers. Ignore this terrible translation. John Wary seems to have a really bad reputation of fucking up translations. It seems that we lucked out with our new translator. We got someone with a bad reputation for screwing up translations. Isn't that fun? Well, in the original kanji, Supreme Grade 1 sorcerer is... Supreme Grade 1 Sorcerer is the same thing as Special Grade 1. Special Grade 1 is a dumb title. It's very confusing. If you watched my reaction, which you should do, I was like, what the fuck is this? Is this translator screwing things up again? These guys are all Supreme Grade 1 Sorcerers, so we finally have a confirmation as to what exactly that is. It was really unclear if it was the person who is the strongest Grade 1 Sorcerer, if there's only one, or if there's multiple, maybe it's something more like what would basically be a semi-special grade sorcerer, and it seems like it's the latter. So these guys are all pretty strong. If the baseline for a Supreme Grade 1 is someone who's basically as strong as Naobito, then these guys, these guys are going to be some serious business, and I'm very happy that we're getting introduced to them like, right out of the way. Because a lot of really strong characters are either dead or just kind of out of the game ever since the Shibuya incident or before. Well, all the disaster spirits are dead. Naobito's dead. Gojo is sealed. We don't know when Suden is going to come out next. Yeah, we need some stronger antagonists. These guys are going to be antagonists, or at least Naoya is. So getting introduced to these guys is pretty cool stuff. So Naoya's kind of a dick. He is very attractive. I will give him that. He's a pretty boy, but he's a misogynist. He hates women. Basically, get back in that kitchen, make me a sandwich. Apparently, someone in the comments for my reaction pointed this out, that I think Maki was a servant for the heir to the Zenin family, which is Naoya. And if she had to work for this dickhead, I can understand why she wanted to leave so badly. This guy is an asshole. Now, I don't hate him. I don't, despise his character yet. I think he's a dick, but he seems cool. Now, if you know me, I will tolerate a character who's an asshole as long as they've got a lot of style points, and Naoya seems to have that going for him so far. So we'll see what happens. However, he is already trying to start shit with other characters, so rest assured, at some point in the future, someone is going to beat the dog shit out of this guy. So look forward to that. Now, the next big reveal in this chapter is that Naobito is fucking dead. He died. He didn't die immediately after getting torched by Jogo, but he's dead now. So, F in the chat if you liked him. Maybe you didn't, I don't know. I certainly thought that his curse technique, or at least his fighting style, was cool. So that means that now Naoya is the head of the Zenin clan, which is bad. Like, we've known the guy for 10 pages and we already know he's a huge asshole. So him becoming in charge of the Zenin clan is bad news. However, there is sort of a condition in Naobito's will, is that normally Naoya becomes the next head of the clan. However, if Satoru Gojo is dead or mentally incapacitated, then Megumi Fushiguro is brought back into the Zenin family and becomes the next head of the clan, which was apparently an agreement made with Toji Fushiguro. Now, I was wondering, when the hell did they make this agreement? And after looking around a bit, seeing what some people had to say, I have a feeling it was definitely some point during that conversation that we saw between Toji and Naobito when Toji was having that little flashback, when he was talking about how much he would sell Megumi to the Zenin clan for. That seems to be around when they made that agreement. So we just kind of get more confirmation of Toji sort of looking out for Megumi, even though he wasn't present, and he was getting, well, it seems like the money that he was paid for selling Megumi to the Zenin clan actually ended up going to Megumi and Sumiki. So, yeah, Toji was actually kind of doing all of this stuff for their betterment. And he's like, yeah, fuck the Zenin clan. However, yeah, sure. Wouldn't it be hilarious if my son became the next head of the clan? That would be fantastic. So, that's hilarious. And as you can imagine, Naoya, who is quite full of himself and seems to think that he is the hottest shit in the world, seems very pleased when he finds out that his dad just died. He is a little pissed off. He's a little upset. So he's gonna go find Megumi, who he knows is going to look for Yuji, and he's gonna, alright, I'm gonna go kill both of those guys. Since they're in Tokyo, it's a city that's now infested with cursed wasteland. So I'll just kill both of them, and since they're in Tokyo, I'll be like, oh no, they got killed by, I don't know, special grades or something. That sucks. Oh well, I guess I'm the head of the Zenin clan now. So that's neat. We have another main antagonist for this Hunt for Yuji arc. That's fun. So I'm definitely very much looking forward to that. I get the impression that Ogi, Junichi, and Naoya are 3 different archetypes. We already see that Junichi is kind of like the strong physical fighter guy. He tries to punch Naoya. Ogi's got a sword, like he's literally a samurai. I know some people are already comparing them to 2 characters from Hunter x Hunter, whose names I can't remember, but I do kind of recognize, because I'm pretty sure they're part of the Phantom trope and are in the York New City arc, which I just got to. So I kind of understand where these guys are probably getting their inspiration from. So we've got big, strong brawler guy, we've got the samurai dude, and Naoya is probably like a caster or stealth type. So we do a short little bit of catching up with Yuki, who seems to be talking with whoever she's familiar with. Apparently, some of them are people from Geto's old group. Laro is not the name of her Shikigami, it's the name of the dude with the heart nipple pasty thing, the dude with the hearts on his chest. That guy from Geto's group. So it seems like she's kind of got her own faction that she's working with, and she plans on confronting Tengen, and I'm wondering why. Does she plan on trying to kill Tengen? Maybe. I mean, the guy has kind of been fucking people over, and apparently his presence is necessary for cursed energy being as potent as it is in Japan, and people being able to harness it, which Yuki, I guess, wants to stop. So I guess it would make sense if she does try and kill Tengen. So that may be happening soon, but at the end of the chapter, this short conversation between Yuji and Choso. We're hanging out. Choso seems to have completely forgiven Yuji for killing his brothers and says that it was a misunderstanding. He says he has to collect the remains of Choso and the others. I assume Choso is one of his other brothers. The name has never been mentioned before. I hope this isn't another terrible translation. But it seems like this is happening not very long after the Shibuya incident has ended. Yuji says that he feels good despite being hit by Black Flash. So I assume this is recently enough after that a lot of his injuries from fighting Mahito and prior to... No, Sukuna healed him. So all of his injuries now would be from fighting Mahito and then the short confrontation with Geto and Urayume. So this is recent. This may be like the day after, or a day or two after the Shibuya incident ended. I really hoped we would get like a timestamp of when this is. It would be really convenient. You know, the Shibuya incident was filled with timestamps that I barely paid attention to. But now it would be really convenient to get like a date and time for when this is happening. In Griever's reaction streams, he has pointed out something I hadn't really noticed before, is that one of the few flaws in Jujutsu Kaisen is that the transitions are kind of lacking sometimes. They're not great, so sometimes it's kind of confusing when you switch between scene to scene. The timestamps in the Shibuya incident helped with that a lot, actually, because there was a lot going on. So having timestamps and location names was really helpful. But it would be kind of nice to have something like that back again, so I can tell when things are going on. But Yuji still has that scar on his head, and it looks like he's got a scar on his lip on the left side. So I think he is still cut up from fighting Mahito. I hope he keeps the scarred up appearance because it's cool. But I doubt they met anyone that could use reverse curse technique on him to heal him, so he's going to be keeping that. I bet they like stitched his lip back together or something, because it doesn't look open like it was before. So I imagine they just kind of stitched it back together. He also has a new jacket now. He does have new drip. His old uniform got fucking shredded. Absolutely destroyed during the fight with the brain, and he threw it away. So now he's got a new jacket. It looks pretty good from what I can see so far. And Yuji has said that he can't meet up with the others anymore because he remembers what Megumi asked him. Was it what Megumi asked him? Yeah, it was what Megumi asked him. About what are you going... Well, like, who's to say that someone you save won't kill someone in the future? And if you remember right after that, he asked Megumi, then why did you save me? And now that has come to fruition. Because Megumi saved Yuji, thousands of people were killed by Sukuna. So he was right. And I don't think he can bear to meet Megumi again after that happening. So it's really just him and Choso hanging out, from what we can see thus far, and probably Yuki. I doubt Yuki just kind of left them, but they do seem to still be in Tokyo, and they're going to go out and kill curses. So it seems like they're just trying to clean up the city as best as they can, which is cool. I do kind of like this idea of we just have this area. There's just this zone where there's curses everywhere. It's infested. So you can just go around and kill curses for however long as you want. That's pretty interesting. And we end off the chapter showing seemingly the two current protagonists and the two current antagonists of the arc. We've got Yuji and Choso, and then we've got Naoya and Okotsu. So I am wondering how quickly this arc is going to, get right into it, and how long the actual arc is going to be. Because we're not getting, a Shibuya Incident part something. We're getting, actual normal titles for chapters with their individual things. Last one was Hard and White. This one's the Zenin clan. So I assume that's going to continue on for a while until we get, a singular long fight. Parts, the first half or more of the Goodwill event, or pretty much the entirety of Origin of Obedience, and then, of course, all of the Shibuya Incident. But the Shibuya Incident was, one thing happening in a short span of time, whereas this arc, I have a feeling, is going to be much more drawn out. Maybe not in terms of chapter length. Actually, no. We may be getting into longer arcs now, so this may be, Shibuya Incident length or longer, probably, but we're not going to have, the whatever incident part 40. It's going to be normal chapter titles. So that's cool, and, yeah, I'm greatly looking forward to see what goes on here. And for once, I'm not going to forget to talk about this week's anime episode, which I've been forgetting to do for the last few weeks. I got screwed up when the anime went on break for 2 weeks. We didn't have any episodes, so I didn't have anything to talk about. So I was like, oh man. And then I forgot. I've forgotten to talk about the anime episodes for the last several weeks. And they've been really good. It seems like they're getting fucking Sakuga for every episode. Which is amazing, because I had heard mutterings that MAPPA supposedly kind of drops the ball a bit in the second core of whatever anime they're doing. Whereas, if anything, this has been the exact opposite. The quality of the episodes is way higher than the episodes of the first core, which is nuts, because the quality for the first half of the season was already really good. So that's awesome. The last two episodes prior to this week's one, we had Panda vs. Mechamaru, and Maki vs. Miwa and Mai, and Nobara vs. Momo. Those are all fantastic. Those fights are way better in the anime than they were in the manga, which is nuts, because for the most part I honestly thought that a lot of the fights were kind of better in the manga, even though they were well animated. But yeah, they've been really good, and the fight against Hanami is shaping up to be fucking amazing, especially with the stuff we got this week. We got Demon Slayer water animation, which is convenient since Demon Slayer Season 2 is announced today. Yeah, it was really good stuff. We got a lot of it's really good. I have high expectations. I was a little concerned that maybe they would botch the Hanami fight, but it seems like it's going to be fucking amazing. And we're getting Black Flash next episode. Also, with the rate they're going at, the Goodwill event is going to be done in 2 weeks. It's going to be done on episode 21, which means the last 3 episodes of the season can actually be the Origin of Obedience, which is nuts. Which means next season we're just going to get right into hidden inventory. That's fucking amazing. And we can probably do the whole Shibuya incident in Season 2. So that's fucking awesome. I wonder what they're going to do for Volume 0, if they'll do an OVA or something. Oh, and this week's Jujutsu Stroll was... it's the best thing I've ever seen, and that it's the worst thing I've ever seen. It's... Who the fuck thought of this? I want to know. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. Who the fuck? Schoolgirl Mahito. I shiver at the thought of what you degenerates on the internet are doing with that, having a fucking depiction. And what you're doing with the knowledge that schoolgirl, high school drama Heiyu Mahito has a boyfriend. I'm getting goosebumps. I sense a fucking disturbance in the universe about what you sickos are doing with that shit. Well, with that, that's all I have to say for this review. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Jujutsu Kaisen chapter reactions and reviews every week. If you haven't seen my reaction, you can check it out. I just uploaded it a little earlier today. If you enjoy other series such as Record of Ragnarok, Black Clover, and Kengan Omega, I do videos in those series as well, so if you're interested in those, you should definitely check out my channel. If you enjoy discussing Jujutsu Kaisen with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce on this channel, once again, you should check out my Discord server. I have a link to it on my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.